So, welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn channel. As most of you all know, I'm Lauren, and we have a new face with us today.
Hi.
This is Alicia. She is our new senior craft producer.
Yes.
And y'all, this is her second day. Like, we are legit throwing this girl in the fire right off the bat.
We're just winging it.
Yep. She is going to learn by doing. She is going to figure it out. So drop us a comment. Let us know if you see us. We're kind of low on staff today, as you can tell. Normally it would be me and Tanner sitting here at the table. But it's me and Alicia, and Sadie, who is also new, is back behind the cameras, running the cameras. So I'm seeing some comments roll in. Super excited. So glad you all are here. And the project that we are doing today is so cute.
Very cute.
Y'all are going to love it.
Yes.
It's another, I know that back in boot camp in December, Tanner and I did a Flex Seal doormat. We're doing another one, but y'all were the ones that told us all about the colorful ones. And so we're using color today.
Yes.
And it is so, I'm ready for it. And this is a very beginner-friendly project. We are using Maker's Gonna Learn fonts. So if you are new to Cricut and new to the die cutting world, here at Maker's Gonna Learn, we have fonts, cut files, hundreds of fonts and cut files specifically for our members. And they get access to those for life. Once they download those, if you become a member, which we have pinned one of the comments, you can become a member today using the code BEST, and this is our best deal of the year, and get access to all of these fonts that we use and all of the cut files. I'm going to walk you guys through how to download these cut files and download these fonts and use them on your in Cricut design space. Very easy, very simple. I really think you all are gonna love it. So before we get started, since this is our little opening Q&A, I want Alicia to kind of introduce herself. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay.
What has brought you here to Maker's Gonna Learn? How did you come here?
Well, I'm Alicia. I just got married last year, and I just had a baby 2 months ago. So I got
Who is adorable. She is absolutely.
I'm a little biased, but she's pretty cute.
How can you not be?
But yeah, I have a long history in the crafting world, I guess you could say. But I was a nurse for a few years, and then I kind of swayed away from that, and I'm back, and I'm so excited to be here. This is dream work for me, and honestly, probably anybody on here could say the same. If they had a job like this, they would be like, wow.
So you also own your own business as well?
Yes, we own, me and my husband own a woodworking business. So we do lots of different things. We don't really say no to any project.
Listen, we're adding some variety to our team, and you all are going to absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So we are so excited to have Alicia here with us. I guess we will just go ahead and we will hop over to the craft table, and we will start. I will show you guys our project and start crafting. Okay, so our Flex Seal mat. Y'all, what's up, Buttercup? We decided that we were gonna kind of go more toward spring type stuff. So we're gearing up for spring. Someone asked, where's the best place to get the mats? There was a lot of different places that people dropped last time. I will say this specific mat, I'm not 100% sure where this one come from. Oh, it did. It came from Hobby Lobby. But I was about to say this one, I had to send Sadie out earlier to get us another one, because little did I know that we did not have an extra one. So to give you all a little bit of a backstory, we have really switched a lot of things up within 24 hours. So currently, Tanner and Courtney's youngest has tested positive for COVID. So definitely keep them in your prayers at this time. So they're quarantined, they're doing fine, but that's why you are seeing me and Alicia and Sadie in here today. And then So it's been one thing, like we found out last night, we were like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna change it up, do something. And then we had to change it up again, but that's okay. That is life. Learning to roll with the punches is how you get through life. Like, I don't know how, I mean, if I'm the type of person, like change, yeah, it kind of freaks me out a little bit, but if you're not open to the change, you're not gonna make it. So, who is ready to craft? Who is ready to do this? Because I am completely 100% ready to jump in with you guys today. So first thing, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to set this to the side for right now. The materials that we're going to be using is this doormat. Once again, found this at Hobby Lobby. We are going to be using freezer paper. Now, we are using the freezer paper as a stencil for our Flex Seal. And the cool thing about the freezer paper, and we talked about this in our other video, we like using the freezer paper. Someone asked, well, what about butcher paper or parchment paper? The reason that we use the freezer paper is because it is plastic coated, so that shiny side gets stuck down to your doormat, and then we are going to heat activate it so that it sticks and gives us a lot cleaner edge. So with that being said, now that I think about it, I'm gonna plug up my mini EasyPress, and that's what we're gonna be using today. Is we're just gonna be using a mini EasyPress. You can use the larger one, but we use the mini one just because it's a little easier for us to control. And I'm gonna plug that in so it can start getting heated up, and turn that on, and we'll leave it over here. So freezer paper, your doormat. We use the 12 by 24 mats. I'm using a light grip mat today so that we know for sure like it doesn't rip the freezer paper when we pull it off. So a light grip 12 by 24 mat. Now you can use a standard grip if it is not super sticky. If it's a little more sticky, you're gonna really want to be careful with pulling that freezer paper up just so that it doesn't rip. We are using the Maker 3. However, you can use an Explorer 3. The only thing that we have discovered, and we discovered this a while ago, if you use the Explorer 3, there is not a freezer paper setting. So Alicia has been kind enough, and we'll get into this in a little bit, to do a couple different cuts on a different setting so you all can see the difference. So if you do have an Explorer 3, you can still do this. It just is not going to have the freezer paper setting. So, and then from there, after that, obviously your Flex Seal, we are using black and yellow today. I will say this, I've seen some really amazing doormats, especially over the holiday season, that some of our members have posted in our member-only Facebook group. And that's something else that you get with our membership, is you get access to our member-only Facebook group, which is honestly just as much worth the membership as anything else. Like, I don't know about you, Alicia. I don't know if you have been like seeing it, or have you been accepted to the group yet?
No, I'm not on the Facebook group yet.
Okay, so the Facebook group is one of my favorite things. Honestly, when I get on Facebook, that's about all I see anymore is my Maker's Gonna Learn people. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people who are so negative online, but the craft world is...
We're just making our little crafts, minding our business.
I mean, they are some of the most... I mean, they're just some of the most uplifting group of people that I have seen, helpful, and I love that about it. Yeah. I love that about the group. I love that about our members. We're there to serve you, and our members are there to help as well. So, and obviously, if you all have, so Creative Cooking with Eileen asked, can you use the earlier version of Explore and Maker? Yes, all we're using is the fine point blade, and the setting that we used for, which it was a Maker 3, but the setting is the
butcher setting.
Butcher paper setting. So that is something that, yes, you could use that on the earlier versions. And that's why I wanted to bring this video, is because not everyone has a Maker 3 because it is on the higher end of the price point for Cricut. And I wanted to bring in the different ways and the different settings you can use if you do have a Explore 3 or below. So just did a Google search for the doormats. Hobby Lobby has them on sale for $7.50. Home Depot and Target and Lowe's have them between $9 and $10. Thank you so much, Renee. Sadie, do you remember if this was on sale today? How much was it? $7.50? Okay. So, I mean, she went to our Hobby Lobby. If you don't have Hobby Lobby, I know we have a lot of friends in Canada that don't have a Hobby Lobby. So it does not have to be a Hobby Lobby mat. This is just, I'm sure you can find them on Amazon. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and we're going to jump over into Design Space. And this is the actual, the fonts that we're going to be using. So What's Up is going to be in font Amber Light, which if you all have been around for a while, you all know that Amber Light is literally one of our favorite fonts here. It has become a staple in our office because I don't know what it is about this font. We just love it. It's so whimsical. It's
very cute.
Very cute.
I love it.
Very cute. This other font, Buttercup right here, the font name is Cartwheel. So when you search this, just so you know, if you go on our website and search for Cartwheel, it is 2 different words because I tried looking it up under one. Well, the way that it's named in our on our webpage, it is 2. So let's go ahead. So if you are a member of Maker's Gonna Learn, oh, she got the lights on me. I did forget to turn off the lights. Thanks. If you go over here, let's go to our dashboard so you all can see what it looks like on our dashboard. The stuff that you all get with becoming a member, there are so many things. There are member-only videos. There are challenges that you can participate in. I mean, it is all the cut files that you get is insane. Courses, fonts, like this is going to be your launching point if you become a member. So from there, we're going to go to fonts. And it may take it a while to pull it up. And we are just going to, and I'm going to walk you guys through downloading and then creating a font or getting it into Cricut Design Space. So I'm actually going to download because I have already downloaded Cartwheel. I'm going to download a different font so you all can see the exact step-by-step process. So if you see, like you can click on, so let's just click on this and we'll open it up. You can click on each one, see it a little bigger if you would like. And then from there you can click this little cloud right here that has the arrow pointing down. Or if you want to do a quick download, you can also just click the cloud with the little arrow without having to click on the picture and actually open up that font. So if you click on that cloud, it will pull it up down at the bottom. Now it will be a zip file. From there, you are going to click on it. It is going to open in your recent downloads. So it was Vegas that I did. So from there, you are going to double click on that. Now, for and this should be very similar between Windows and Mac. It will then open it up. See, it's brought it down here after it unzipped it. So you unzip the file. It will be a zip file. You have to unzip it. Then you are going to open it up. It will bring up all of the different letters. You are going to click Install Font. Okay?
After you do that a bunch of times, it gets a lot easier.
I feel like it sounds
like a lot of steps, but it gets easier the more often you download fonts.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it will download to your computer. Here is where you need to remember although it downloaded to your computer, it does not automatically download to Design Space. So we're going to exit out of this. We're going to come down here. We're going to bring Design Space back. From there, you are going to have to completely exit out of Design Space. So we are going to quit and then come back down here and open up Design Space again. And then what it will do, and I'll just go to new project real quick so I can show you. You're going to the text box, you're going to go to font, and the one that we just downloaded was Vegas. Search it, and there it is. Super, super simple. Very easy. I know it sounds like it's, and if you don't know what you're doing, that's what we're here for, is to help teach you how to do this. Especially for our beginners. I know a lot of times we have beginners that come to our page, that find our page, especially after Christmas, after getting their new Cricut die cutting machine. So we like to walk you step by step through the process of doing everything. So we're going to go back to my projects. Now, if you are new to Cricut, you can save all of your projects that you have done so that you don't have to go back and redo any of these for future reference. So we're going to go back. As you can tell, we have been really getting ready for you guys and getting lots of good crafts coming up. So we're going to find, I just passed it up, What's Up Buttercup. We're going to click on it, and then we are going to customize. We're going to replace. So first thing, and this was something that took me a while with Cricut to really understand, when they open something up, they open it up big. Like look at this. This right here is 25 and a half inches by 15, a little over 15 and a half. So it is pretty big. And what we are going to do, so that we have the right size, we are going to, if you want to go overhead, Sadie, we are going to, and I just had my measuring tape. What did I do with my measuring tape? Anyway, it's okay. We'll figure it out. So I remember measuring tape, what it was. So you want to measure what you are making, whether that be a t-shirt, a doormat, a wall hanging, anything that you are making, you are going to want to measure this. And this is something that I'll just be real honest with you guys. It took me a minute to figure this out when I first started using a die cutting machine, because I just thought, well, I'll just go with it and, figure it out as we go. Mm-hmm. I'm just the type of person, like, I will go headstrong into anything and not think twice about it. But you're going to measure this. So this is actually a 30 by 18 doormat. So if we can go back over to Design Space, you're going to want to set your base. So if you'll just grab a shape here, I'm just going to grab this square. See, it opens up really teeny tiny up here. I'm going to unlock it because our shape is a rectangle. If it is locked on the square, anytime you try to add a width or a height, it's going to equal out on both sides because it is a square. So make sure you hit this unlock button. And then we are going to go 30 by 18. And then we're going to lock it so it doesn't change. And this is going to be the size of our doormat. I'm going to change the color to brown just because that's the color of our doormat. That way I can. Now, for those that are new, notice that both of these are not attached to each other. So if you want to select and attach these right now as they are, the reason that we are not attaching these is because we want them on two separate mats, because if we're definitely not going to weld them because it would be way too big to cut on one mat. And especially because we want to be able to place the What's Up and Buttercup separately on our mat. So these are not attached. If you try to move, See, if you try to move this, it's not going to move the buttercup. Same thing. So I'm just going to hit undo. So you always want to make sure you click above where your image is and drag down and select both of them. Now you see how Cricut has selected them both. You can move them together. Once you have the placement that you want, you can move them together and size them together. Oh, here's another little trick for our newbies. This is going to represent our doormat, so we want to be able to see our font in front of this image. So from there, if you go up here to arrange, click that, send to back, that allows this to be in front of the image so that we can size accordingly, okay? So, one other thing I want you guys to think of. This looks like it fits great. And if you wanted to, this is once again, I'm telling on myself. Y'all, I know y'all love the craft fails, so here I am telling on myself about a craft fail. Oh, there I go again. Let's just undo this again. So, when you're looking at this image right here, let's see, this and this. So this is good. When I was first putting this together to do a test cut, I put this behind my mat and I thought, hey, that can be a little bit bigger. So let's go over here and let's, size it up just a little bit. And then I was like, I put it on my mat, which that's a little bigger than what I was meaning to do. But I thought, you know what, that takes up all of the mat. That looks good to me. That looks really good. And it does. In Cricut Design Space, looks great. However, when you go to cut these, if you look at the length of this one, it is over 24 inches. Remember, we are cutting on a 12 by 24 mat. So let me show you what it's going to do. You always need to make sure you look at your size so that you don't make the same mistake I did. So let's just go to make it. Okay, it's incompatible. Maker 3. Let me hide this. That's why. So it says it's incompatible, so I'm going to hide this. Now let's go to make it. I thought, great, it's going to work. And then I just saw this. I was like, yeah, that looks like a 12 by 24 mat. Awesome. I hit continue. I went over here, selected my device, USB, and then guess what? It didn't let me choose the material I wanted because it does not fit on a 12 by 24 mat. So this is for our new members. Make sure that if you are cutting on a 12 by 24 mat, although it may look good, although this looked really good with our mat size that we selected, it's going to be larger. So make sure that both of these words are under that 24-inch mark. So we've moved them down. This one's at 23.72, and this one is right at 24. So
they're telling us to kern it.
Okay. Well, we didn't when we did this, so we're just going to.
I think it looks good. Usually I would say that too, but yeah. I feel like it looks good on this font because it makes it more whimsical.
Yeah, so we didn't want to kern it when we did it the first time, except for, I will say that if we can move. This is just a personal preference. Here we are with this thing. See, we're going to ungroup. And we'll move this just a little bit. That literally might have been the only thing that I did.
Yeah.
So what we did right here is we ungrouped, and when you ungroup, so you can move these around, and what she means by kern is, let's do it this way. Select, which I'm gonna have to, let's zoom out so I can see a little bit better. We're going to select these. So I ungrouped all of these, and then you can align, you can distribute them. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, you can move them in and move them out, and you can actually make these letters touch. What she's meaning is making these letters touch and then attach them all together so that, or weld them all together so that it makes it more of a cursive font. But we wanted it to be separate because we liked the more whimsical feel. So I'm just going to go back. So these are all grouped back together. I'm just going to leave that like it is. Okay. From there, what we are going to do is we're going to click, oh, once again, I have to hide. So that's, you need to hide this mat or just completely delete it out. We are going to click Make It. Oh, it's still saying that. I must have forgot to size it down. I bet I did. Okay, we're going to size it down just a teeny bit more. Right here. That one should be good. Now we will go to Make It. Okay, now it gives you the option to do it on a mat, without a mat. So you can do that without a mat. However, you cannot do it for or with the freezer paper. It will only be with the smart vinyl when you are working with the Cricut. So you're going to click on mat, done, and then you are going to click continue because we are doing this on 2 separate mats. You are going to select your device, your Maker 3. So here is where we kind of ran into because the last time we did this, we did it on freezer paper, and I went back to the video and I realized that Tanner was doing it on the Maker 3 and I was trying to do this on an Explorer 3. So you're going to select freezer paper if you have a Maker 3 and then click done. Now, if you want to go back to camera 1, I'm going to show them. This was done, however, on an Explorer 3, and this is done with the butcher's paper setting, and this one is just the default, and this one was with more. And then we will go overhead, and we're going to weed this here so you all can see the difference. Now, when you are weeding a stencil, remember you are weeding the words, not what's around it. So you can see, like right here, it didn't really cut all the way through. I mean, you can detach it, but there are a couple places that it's just kind of not doing necessarily the best when it comes to weeding this. So with the more pressure, we end up having no problems at all, except for the little center of the L. So if you are working on an Explorer 3, please make sure to use the butcher's paper setting, and then it will pop up default more or less when it comes to pressure. You are going to use the more setting. Like I said, you can use default. There are just going to be places where it doesn't cut as well. So using the more pressure is going to be better. If you have an Explorer 2, you will, I mean, it's the same thing. You're just going to use the butcher paper material and then click that pressure setting to more. So we'll go head on back over to Design Space. Here is where I was saying, once you set your base material, here is where I was saying you can change this to more or less. Today, since we are using the Maker 3, we're just going to use it as a default setting. Like I said, we are using the fine point blade. Now what we're going to do, we can head back overhead so I can show them how to size your freezer paper. So there are a couple different ways that this can be cut. You can cut this with shiny side up. We are cutting it with shiny side down. And the reason that we are cutting it with shiny side down is just because a lot of times we forget to mirror. So when you cut it with shiny side down, You do not have to mirror. If you are going to cut it shiny side up, you please remember to mirror your image, okay? So cutting shiny side down, and there goes my little press going off because I haven't used it. I love to cut the butcher's paper with an X-Acto or a True Control knife. That way I can get it because I said butcher's paper, freezer paper. Please, freezer paper. But it's larger than your mat. So using that X-Acto knife just tends to be a little easier. Or True Control, whatever you want to call it. So from there, we'll head over to our machine. And then we're going to, this is really bothering me. And this is a good idea. We need to get this down real good. Otherwise, you take a chance of it tearing and ripping. Okay, we are going to load our paper into the machine. And then so this is where it will measure our mat. I have a little bit right there. And especially when using these 12 by 24 mats, make sure you don't have anything sitting behind here because there's a good chance like it can knock stuff off your table. Yes, the dollar deal is still going on. Let's go ahead and drop that link for dollar deal. So you convince a friend to try Maker's Gonna Learn and it's charging her more than $1. Christy, have your friend email customer service. It's hi at makersgonnalearn.com and they will get her set up. So after that, after it's loaded and it's sized our mat, press the play button and then it will start cutting. And I'm going to go ahead and fix our next mat while that's cutting. So friends, do we have any questions? Alicia, have you seen any questions?
Not questions particularly, but Shirley Witt's saying she hasn't done a mat because it's hard to get one in the stores because she's trying to stay out of the stores, which is very reasonable.
I mean, I completely understand that.
I feel like you could probably find them on Amazon. And they're called Coir mats, right? C-O-I-R, is that how they're spelled? These brown mats, I feel like they're called Coir mats.
Hold on, let me look.
I don't
See
know.
if it has an exact name on the back of it.
Because you may be able to just search it on Amazon.
Yes, you are right.
Is that what it's called?
C-O-I-R, yes, 100, yes.
Yeah, so you may be able to find those on Amazon or even Walmart.com because somebody was saying that they have them at Walmart for $5.97, which I feel like is the cheapest.
Oh, yeah.
Of all the other ones.
For sure. It's one of those things, when in doubt, I always tell people, when in doubt, Amazon.
Yes,
When
absolutely.
in doubt, Amazon.
Amazon has a little, someone even just said, I ordered mine on Amazon. And it looks like you can order it from Target as well.
Yep. When in doubt, Amazon.
Someone is saying, Barbara makes crafts. I have tried this with freezer paper many times and can't get it to stick to the mat when I iron it on. How do you get it to stick? So I'm assuming you're going to show us that here in a minute.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, Barbara, what are you using to try to iron it on? Because it may be a lot of times, it's kind of the same thing with the HTV. A lot of people will use irons, and if you have if your iron works, like, more power to you, like, that's amazing. The only thing that is, it may not get hot enough. Like it may not be getting hot enough to get it to stick. So that could be a reason. Might be why like the Cricut, like the mini press works a little better. I'm not really sure though.
I wonder if it matters, if you don't have the shiny side down, it's also not going to stick, correct?
Yes, so the shiny side is what makes it stick to the mat. So you have to have the shiny side down. Why don't you put, Why don't you put it on freezer paper, not on vinyl? So, Karen, what we're doing, we are making a stencil for our mat. We are not actually putting vinyl because vinyl would not stick to this material. So we are not, we're making a stencil, and then we are using Flex Seal. Are we overhead? Where are we at? Okay, so this freezer paper is a stencil. We're going to be putting it on the mat, and then we're going to be using Flex Seal. That way, this is very, very durable to leave outside. And that's, spell that brand. It's not a brand name. It is a type. It's the material that this mat is made out of. It's COIR. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we have, this is going to be cutting mat 2. We're going to load this in just like a while ago. Get some of this off of there. And then once that, now, while that cuts, if you want to head overhead, because we are making a stencil, we are not going to pull this up. What you want to do is you are going to actually weed the letters out. That means like those little, with the A, the little circle inside the A, you're going to leave that down. And that is something that you may have to, it's going to come off like when you set your stencil down, and you'll have to replace it before you iron it down. But we are actually weeding the letters out instead of leaving the letters on the mat. Get this one started.
Someone's asking, could they do the same thing on a wood coaster with freezer paper as a stencil?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you?
I wouldn't see why it wouldn't. As long as this, listen, as long as the Flex Seal sticks to it, okay. Of course. And you don't have to use Flex Seal. You could use the stencil for paint. I have seen a lot of people make freezer paper stencils for t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not just the mat. It is, you can make freezer paper stencils for many different things.
Okay. Let's see what else people are saying. Someone is asking, is there a mat that's good for all weather? Because they read that the mat isn't supposed to get wet or damaged. But I've had these outside, and I feel like they stand to the weather.
I mean, for the most part, they do. I mean, just like any outdoor mat, it will eventually get to where it wears and tears. Yeah. But for the most part, I really think that these are probably the ones that hold up the best.
Okay. Yeah. And Sherry Festerman, so she bought Cricut stencil vinyl, and she's wondering how well that works for doormats, which I've used vinyl on these type of doormats, and it's very messy, and like it's not as easy to do as it is with the freezer paper because it sticks to everything. And
oh no.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so we are having issues. Go figure. Y'all, it wouldn't be, no. No, oh no.
Oh, we almost made it to the end. Almost made it.
We almost, it's goner. It's a goner for sure. That's what it is. Okay. So yes, you do need to use a light grip mat. Let's go back to number 1. You do need to use a light grip mat. However, obviously, my light grip mat down here is not grippy enough. And it did not stick enough. Although I did burnish it, it did not stick. Did not stick. So, in the meantime, I'm going to take all of this off. And since my first mat did pretty decent, I will just I don't even know why I was taking that off. I ain't gonna use that mat anyway.
We're not using that mat anymore.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my True Control knife. We're gonna cut the top of this off because I don't need that.
Someone's asking the difference between freezer paper and butcher paper.
Okay, freezer paper, I don't know if y'all can see. Let's go overhead so they can see. Do y'all see this shiny on this freezer paper? So that's a plastic coating. Butcher's paper is, it doesn't have that coating on it. So the reason we're using the freezer paper is because it has that coating that once it heats up, it will, now it's not going to adhere, like stick very, very good, but it's going to adhere to this mat well enough for us to use it as a stencil.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to pull this up. Now you are going to, when you do this, you have to be pretty careful with your letters. It is going, you're not obviously going to have to place your, for the H and the A and the P. We'll have to go back in and place those before, but you do need to be very, very careful. Oh, and the S. I just now noticed that. And then we will place this here.
We've got a couple more people concerned about kerning your letters, but we just decided it's a personal preference.
Yeah.
If you like to have it touched or not.
And then place that. And we can, when we come back in here in a minute, we will place these a little better. I'm just kind of putting them where they need to go right now. Keep that in mind. How many friends do we have watching with us today? We have how many? Awesome. So if we have any new members with us, why don't you all drop an emoji? Let us know if we've got any new or potentially new members. Would love to see how many friends we have that are thinking about or are new to Cricut, thinking about joining our community. We'll have, get that going. So what I'm doing now, we are going to recut this buttercup. And we're going to take our True Control knife. Let's see what's in my line. We're going to cut this. Now, a lot of people say why, like they're afraid to use a True Control knife on their mat because they don't want to take a chance of cutting into your mat. I mean, you do run a small risk of doing that. However, when you use the right amount of pressure, like that's not going to bother that mat. It's not going to, obviously I didn't use enough pressure to even cut the paper. So it's not going to bother that mat. Now it's very, very important. Once again, we're going to make sure this sticks.
We've got a lot of new members, so that's really good.
Awesome. We are so glad that you are here crafting with us. This is such a fun and easy beginner's project. We're so glad to have you all here. If you all are curious about what we do, we have available for you. So we are you subscribe to our membership and you get access to hundreds, I mean so many cut files, new cut files every month, new fonts. You can request cut files to be made specifically for you. So yeah, we're going to recut this. Default, make sure it is down. We're going to try this again. New member as of 1/6/21. Welcome, Sam. Knife on my mat and it sliced the mat. Has this happened? If you apply too much pressure, then yes, there is a chance that you may possibly slice your mat. However, with the right amount of pressure, you don't want to use a ton of pressure, just enough pressure to cut your material. So you just want to make sure that you are using just enough pressure to cut your material, whatever material that is. And I'm watching this machine like a hawk because I would hate to have to do this for a third time. Absolutely hate to have to do this. Does anyone use a baking roller to do this? I mean, that would work. Absolutely.
Is our freezer paper and parchment paper the same thing?
No.
Okay.
Freezer paper has the plastic coating, whereas parchment paper does not.
Okay.
But that is a great question. So actually what I'm gonna do while that's cutting, because the buttercup, if I'm not mistaken, the buttercup, we are actually going to be, it's gonna be like really right up against this. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna iron this down, and then we're gonna spray this and pull it off, and then we'll put our buttercup down and line it up after. So what we are doing now, I'm going to turn my mini heat press back on. We are going to get the placement of our letters set. And then we are going to use our mini heat press, and I'm actually going to start like right here. Ironing this down because I don't want any of my little pieces to move.
You finished, yay.
At least it did it. I'm just excited that it worked this time. Now this does take a little time and patience. So just make sure you are patient with this. It is not going to stick like extremely well. So do not expect for it to stick super well. Once again, we are just using it as a stencil. And it's going to peel up right after we spray it. So if it's not working for you, I think Shirley had said that it didn't work for her. It's not worked for her. Just be patient. See, this has moved already. Let's see if we can get that stuck back down. There we go. And these little letters you want it to stick just enough to keep this down.
If you put it on, they're trying to tell you that it looks crooked.
Is it the camera or is it?
I don't know if it's the camera or the...
No, they're right. It is crooked. It's getting crooked.
So if you started to iron it down, can you...
Well, we're moving it.
And it'll move. Well, that's good. That's good that you can at least...
So trying to keep it in focus for you guys, and then at the same time, let's just do this. Let's move this. There we go. Now we did iron this down. We can move this. Thank you all for catching that because I would have gone on with it.
It's nice that you can still pull it up though.
Yes. I mean, because we all make mistakes. So being able to fix our mistakes is I do like that about it. Okay. Sometimes these little, I guess you could call them like bristles on this, get things off a little bit. I think that looks better. It's hard when I'm right above it. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay. I accidentally turned it off. What are our friends saying? You're human. Yes, yes. Yes, I am. We all are. Mistakes in my life, that's inevitable.
Someone said they use straight pins to hold the pieces down.
That would work as well.
Yeah.
That would be great. And especially if you don't plan on, actually, you know what, that's a really good idea. Now that I'm trying to get this down to stick.
Someone's saying, Angie Kimberly, could you start with a bigger heat press just to get it in place and then use the mini to get the smaller pieces?
I do not see why you couldn't. That seems like a great idea. We're just going to go ahead, since we've already got this mini one heated up, we're just going to go ahead and use it. The only thing is, if you did that, it was Angie?
Yeah.
I would take out these pieces right here, the middle pieces for your letters, and get your big pieces laid down first, and then come back in with those small pieces and lay them down with the mini press. I keep turning this thing off and not meaning to. What is wrong with me? Okay, here's where we're gonna find out. Can you pull it up and press it back down? Because this is right where it was. And it seems to be doing all right at the moment. Fingers crossed it stays that way.
Shakira Gray is asking, if she signs up, is it at their own pace, or do you have a time frame before it expires?
Okay, that is a great question. If you sign up for Makers Going to Learn, it's at your own pace. So we have a 30-day, once you sign up, and let me pull this out. We have a Master Your Cricut 30-day challenge. Now this is the book, you get instant access to this book. It is a downloadable book. It is not one, it's not like we don't send you the book. You can get it printed so that you can work at your own pace. But in this, takes you day by day through different things to do, different things to learn. You take it, like you said, at your own pace. And here I am pressing this, and it is not straight. Y'all, talking and doing at the same time may not be my...
You're doing a good job.
My strong suit. So you take it a day at a time, you learn all of these different things, and then it is a self-paced book. Along with, and that's what comes with our yearly membership. If you sign up as a year member, you get all of this, plus instant access to our website, all of our fonts, all of our cut files. All of that is part of so once you sign up as a yearly member, it is on auto renew. So if you decide, the good thing that I love about Makers Gonna Learn is if you sign up yearly, and then let's just say, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 months down the road, you're like, you know what, this was great while I was part of it. However, I just don't have the time anymore. Like, things in my life have changed. This is not necessarily for me. That's okay. We understand life happens. What is so great is you get to keep all of the cut files that you have downloaded to your computer. They're yours. Obviously, we don't have a cut file police that comes back around that says, give me my cut files back. Like, they're yours to use for life. And you even get commercial licenses to use those cut files to turn around and sell things to even pay for your membership. So that's what we love. I have the heat press, I have it set to 3, just because it is kind of harder to get that to stick. So what we're gonna do now, my advice to you all, take this outside to spray this. We are in a very well ventilated studio. This is not something that you need to do necessarily inside, but like I said, we are in a very well ventilated studio specifically for this. So basically you're just gonna spray it like you spray paint. When I spray paint, I like to do And this might be where let's do this. I would rather get on my hand. Ha! Look at that. And you can get down close. It's not gonna matter because this material will soak this Flex Seal in, so we don't have to worry about it running.
The book that they get when they sign up, it's Nancy Black says she has a Joy, and she's wondering, can you use the book, or is it only for Explorer or Maker?
It is for any Cricut user. It is learning, not just learning your machine, it's learning design space. It is learning how to do, which I'll show you. It teaches you how to use design space on an iPad, layering vinyl, how to layer heat transfer vinyl, the different tools, printable vinyl. Now I don't think the Joy can do print and cut, but I mean, there are so many good things in here. Mm-hmm. And like I said, just keep in mind, the books we don't send you the books. It is an instant download. So now we are going to pull this up. Now I am doing some people like to wait. Somebody said something the last time, you can wait, but then they said they had done one and the Flex Seal had kind of, it had adhered to the thing, so they couldn't pull it up. I like to do a wet peel on these just so we can make sure that they come up. And obviously you need to be careful because you will more than likely get Flex Seal on you. And I'm just pulling this one up. Now I am doing this because our what we do next is very close. Our next font is going to be very close to this P. So I did this one first before doing the Buttercup. Da, 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 da. Okay. And I'm going to run over here and grab a napkin real quick.
Oh my gosh.
And wipe my hands off.
At least it matches your nail polish.
You know, I got black for a reason. That was so much quicker than the pouncing method. Yes, if you have ever done the pouncing method, this right here, it's like insane how much faster this is than the pouncing method. So we're going to push this up. Once again, I want to remind you all, we are weeding. Oh no, I might not be very smart. We are weeding the letters out and leaving the rest on the mat. And then we will come back in and we will place that.
Someone asked if it was regular spray paint. It wasn't. It's the Flex Seal paint.
So we are using Flex Seal. And this is just because this ends up being super, super durable and it adheres to that material very well.
Everyone's coming up with the different things that they want their sign to say. And Shirley Witt says it needs to say, "What's up?"
What's up? Yeah.
And then someone else says, "Go away if you got bad news."
Yes, or just go away, period.
Just go away, period.
Just go away. Some of the stuff that our friends on our Facebook group come up with, like I loved every bit of it. So for this one, I'm not going to cut this off up here just because I am going to place it. This stuff dries fairly fast. Obviously, as I say fairly fast, and my finger is still black. But I'm not going to iron this down over here. When I put this up here, I'm not gonna iron this up here down. I'm just gonna iron this portion down so it kind of acts as a shield when I spray my yellow and it doesn't get up here. I made one that says, come back when you have tacos and booze. I need to make one of those now. Like, I need one now.
Oh.
Please and thank you.
I like the ones that say to hide the Amazon packages.
Yes.
Like around the side of the house.
That's all. Those are always. I just love like creative doormats. I think they are adorable.
Yes.
I think they allow you to kind of show off your flair and your personality. I just think I love them.
And with the membership, you can use the different fonts to make whatever design that you want. So you don't have to use, the files that are already created. You can use the What's Up Buttercup or another cute one that they have. But
absolutely.
You could make it say literally whatever you wanted using the fonts that come with the membership.
Yes. So that's the good thing is, like Alicia said, like you get to create and manipulate cut files however you want to. And that's what I love about, we want to teach you the techniques, but give you the opportunity through our membership, through membership with Makers Gonna Learn. We teach you the techniques, and then you take our techniques that we teach you, and then you create and you use your design skill and your skill set, and you create what you want with it. You can, so if you wanted to do a taco, or if you actually wanted to do a picture of a taco and not just words, you could take an outline of one, do it in different colors, because just FYI, there is an insane amount. Alicia, did you know that all the different colors you can get Flex Seal in?
No.
Because we didn't.
I thought that Flex Seal was like
black.
I didn't even know it was spray paint, first of all. Okay, I bought a lot of spray. I'm like learning it today. Like, I didn't know it was spray paint. I thought it was like some kind of water protectant or something.
Did you see what Dottie said? The closed captioning said?
Yes.
I mean, to each their own.
Exactly. That's hilarious.
Okay. And now we are just going to rinse and repeat. Same process. We are going to iron this down. Now remember, I'm not going to iron past like right here, right past the top, just because we're getting pretty close to you don't want to iron where we've already sprayed, but I think it was like spraying before spraying this, like you wouldn't have been able to have gotten it so close. So you do have to do one at a time. I do know the last time we did a doormat, we just did black. So we did the whole thing at one time. When you're doing multiple colors, you have to think about how close they're going to get, how it's going to overlap, where it's going to spray, so that you do get it nice and neat and close. I love that you're using HTV instead of adhesive vinyl or stencil black. We're actually, this is not even HTV. So the cool thing about this is it's freezer paper. We are actually using freezer paper that you can get in the kitchen section of really any convenient grocery store. And the reason that we are using the freezer paper is because it has that plastic layer on the back, and that actually, when you put the heat to it, it activates and becomes sticky and sticks to this. So it's super, super inexpensive to make stencils using the freezer paper. And like I said earlier, I've seen people use freezer paper to make stencils for t-shirts. Lots of different things, not just doormats. You can use freezer paper to make stencils for a lot of different things. Let's see. What's everybody else saying? That's funny. I would love to. Work happens. Yes, we're glad everybody's here, whether you're joining us at work. So just a little, before I started with Tanner and Courtney, when I really learned what they did here, I would sit in the office on my phone watching lives. Because I was just so intrigued by everything.
I love watching lives. I don't know what it is. For one, I feel like it's relaxing. And I don't know. I feel like I'm right there with them. Whatever they're doing,
I love being able to interact with people.
Yeah.
So, speaking of lives, how are you enjoying your first live?
I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling amazing. That
I was a little worried this morning. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. I think I have discovered you're a lot like me in the sense that sometimes you just need to be thrown into the fire to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not I can't sit and think about it. I'm just going to let's just do it.
Just hit the ground running.
Yep. Let's just do it. We're not even going to think about it.
Let's see. Someone saying
says that's what I do.
Yeah. Oh. HTV pulls out too many fibers when you pull it up. I haven't tried the HTV on these mats before, but
I haven't either. We've always just done the freezer paper, so we've just always done freezer paper. I guess you could use HTV, but I mean, even with this freezer paper, no, it doesn't stick great, but it sticks well enough. But even when it comes to pulling it up, it takes it a minute, honestly. Stephanie says, I feel like I'm crafting, but I don't have to do anything but sit here. I think that's why I liked it too, because it was I was feeling productive, but was I really being productive?
Yeah. That's funny.
Not so much.
Let's
see. Do you put a few coats on it, and do you seal it when it's done? No, Joanne, I literally just did one coat on this blue, or on this black blue, on the black, and pulled it right up, and then because it is Flex Seal, it seals itself. So that's the great thing about the Flex Seal, is it seals itself. And really and truly, these don't have to be perfectly ironed down, because when you start spraying, that Flex Seal gets heavy on that paper and ends up pushing it down, and then kind of making it, I didn't have any issues up here whatsoever. But I think we do need to fix this B real quick, and then maybe the P over there in the corner too. Let's try this. And then we'll be ready to spray again. I've not been able to catch a live since 2020. Well, Kimberly, we are glad to see you back. So glad to see you back. I love using my sublimation markers on paper to add a stencil to my wood coasters for wood burning. I will need to try the freezer paper. Yes, definitely try the freezer paper. For sure. Okay, so now we are going to spray. Once again, this is probably going to be a no-no, y'all, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put my hand here so it doesn't get... Now, one of the things that, come on, the yellow, you are going to be able to see, it's not going to cover as well as the black. So you may have to do, oh, that one, see that come out in clumps. Okay, now it's coming out a little better. You may have to do one or two coats.
So do they have all the color options with Flex Seal, or is there just primary colors?
The last time we did a live, someone said that there was they have the primary colors. So red, blue, yellow, green. Mm-hmm. But somebody said they had really pretty terracotta color.
Oh, we like terracotta color.
Orange.
Okay. Someone asked, how would you seal acrylic paint if you chose to use acrylic paint for this project?
So if you chose to use acrylic paint, you could still do the same thing with the stencil, but then you would just come in with a foam dabber and you would have to dab that. But the only thing with the dabbing method is it takes so long.
Yeah. Yolanda Branner says she would trim the edges with painter's tape. That's a good little trick.
Oh yeah, that would work. But for the sake of today, we're just... And now it's wanting to be, now it's wanting to not spray.
Someone asked if it would work on a towel, like the same technique, and I feel like it would work. I feel like it would be.
On a towel?
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a shot to try it, you know?
So one thing that Caitlin did say is she wasn't a big fan of the yellow because it come out like clumpy, and when I first went out there to spray it, I was like, no, this is good. This is so good.
And now it's clumpy.
I can see that. So maybe the color has an effect on how it comes out, but listen, y'all saw the first one. It was still super cute. Mm-hmm. And this one is going to be adorable.
I love it. Someone said the Flex Seal website has lots of colors.
Ooh.
So, and I know like the stores have been out of spray paint. Like if you have went for spray paint at any moment in the last 6 months, I don't know what the problem is. Oops.
Just a little bit. It ain't too bad.
It's fine.
Okay. Moment of truth. Y'all can see I had a little bit of overspray right here.
You can't see it from here if that makes you feel better.
It does.
Beautiful.
Oh, how cute. I'm going to run over here and take this outside for a minute.
Oh.
Because that still has quite a bit of paint on it.
Someone was asking, what is Flex Seal used for usually outside of the craft world?
Was it? Okay, so I remember those infomercials from when I was little. And that guy with the boat. Do y'all remember those? Where he would sit in the boat and was like, I'm going to put a hole in this boat and it's not going to sink because of Flex Seal. Or no, he made a boat out of a screen door. That's what it was. He covered it with Flex Seal.
Oh.
I think it's just like a waterproof kind of thing. I'm going to take these outside too.
So people probably use it on their boats or...
I mean, fix a lot of different things.
Someone used it to cover a hole in a gutter.
I mean, there's all kinds of things for Flex Seal.
Yeah.
Let me see. Y'all, I really hope this comes off of my nails. Are we on one or overhead? Okay, so y'all, I hope, just be aware when you're doing this, you might want to put some gloves on, just so you know. Stops a leak in a creek. I love it. It's a rubber sealant. Yes. So yeah, this is our finished project. How do you all, what are you thinking? Are you loving it? Let's go back to one. We'll hold it up so everybody can see it.
So cute.
Super cute, super simple. It is one of those that you can take so many different fonts that we have at Maker's Gonna Learn and make it personal. Fit your style, fit the way, fit your lifestyle. And it's so cute. You can make them for different, use Goo Gone to remove the, oh, yes. Thank you, Yolanda. I will definitely use Goo Gone on this. Make different mats for a different time of the year. They are amazing gifts for personalized gifts for friends, for birthdays, which we're past Christmas, but as a thank you gift, a rainbow font would be great. So yeah, like this was one of those projects. We love doing this project. It's a very simple project for beginners. If you are a beginner, just make sure that you are getting that freezer paper stuck and don't run into the same project or same thing I did with not getting it stuck well enough and then it ripping everywhere. And once again, just so you all, I know you can rewind and watch it again and I'll remind you, but if you are not on a Maker 3, remember the Maker 3 is the one that actually has the freezer paper setting. If you are on an Explorer, you're not going to see the freezer paper setting, but you need to use the butcher paper setting on more pressure. The fonts that we used, this one, the What's Up is the Amber Light. That's one of our favorite fonts here at Maker's Gonna Learn. And then Buttercup is Cartwheel. Those are the two fonts. So Amber Light and Cartwheel are the two fonts that we used. So I'm gonna head on over, sit down with Alicia, we'll kind of debrief. If y'all have any questions at all, go ahead, ask away. We'll see what you all, did we have any other questions about anything else that you can think of?
No, I didn't. I think we answered almost all the questions. Hopefully we didn't miss anybody.
Yeah, so we're trying, like I said earlier, this is Alicia's very first live. I'm like, my heart is happy. My heart is happy. I feel like we're kind of on the same wavelength with everything. Yeah. For sure on the same wavelength. Wavelength. Tell y'all a story about last night. Was it you that shared the picture of
the Superstar?
So last night, when we discovered that Tanner and Courtney's youngest was sick, Caitlin, which you all have met Caitlin before. If you've not, she's also new. She's been here with us since December the 1st, somewhere around in there. Anyway, today was going to be her first live. So we absolutely, Caitlin holds a very, very special place in our heart. But she was super nervous. Well, one of my favorite movies, like I'm a big SNL. I love the old school SNL. Molly Shannon and all those people. Yeah. Well, then I get in our group message, there is one of those GIFs or GIFs, whatever you say.
I don't know what you call it.
And it's of Molly Shannon and Superstar. And I was like, whoever this is my new best friend.
So we didn't have our number saved.
No, I didn't have her number saved. So I shared the quote, when I get nervous, I have to smell my underarms.
That movie is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm loving it. We're on the same wavelength. I hope you all felt the same way too. Let's see. It comes in like a paint can too. I think it would work with a brush. Yeah, like if you wanted to use this with the brush and do the stamp method, you could do this with the Flex Seal. It just seems that the spray paint is a little bit faster for us, but it's really your preference. We are just bringing you the how-to with the stencil to do this. You do what works best for you. I did this for someone's anniversary and put it on their wedding date. Yes, that is an awesome way to do it. The last time we did it, we took a cut file. So we took the snowflake cut file and we actually cut it in half and then added a line on the top and a line on the bottom and had the name through the middle.
Yeah, so that's really cute.
If that's something, if you want to manipulate a cut file, go back and watch that one. Can I say, okay, Kimberly says, hi, Alicia. I don't know either one of you yet. Can I say welcome? Not sure how long you have both been with Maker's Gonna Learn, but I loved this live. So for those that don't know, my name is Lauren. I guess I should have introduced myself. At this point, I feel like, but really I'm not, an old pro at this. I started with Tanner back in September of the past year, not even as a craft producer, but it's turned into one of those things. I'm just kind of doing everything. Alicia was hired on yesterday, y'all. Yesterday. Like, can we show Alicia some love for how well she's done? She started yesterday as our senior craft producer. And yeah, so we're super, super glad to be here. So glad to be crafting with you all. Yolanda said, can I use the bigger heat press or should I stick with the mini? So if you do the bigger heat press, my advice is to take off all of those little small pieces that go in between, like the inside of the A or the inside of the P. take all of those off and press the one large piece down first and then go back in with the mini press, because if you press it all down at the same time, there is a very good chance that those small pieces are going to move. Yeah. So press the large piece down and then go back in with the smaller pieces. This is the first time I've watched you guys live. I usually only watch to rewind. Listen, I'm not watching to rewind like that's, I like being able to go back and be like, now what did they say again?
Especially if I'm going to do a project, I want to be able to like write.
Yes.
I'll take notes.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be writing stuff down.
Yes, yes. Oh, look at all the love for
so
Alicia.
Nice. Everyone's so sweet.
I'm telling you, these
gosh.
people are the sweetest group of people that I have ever been with. I love getting to craft with you guys. Like I said, we've been so glad to be here today on this Tuesday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Tanner stays well. Just so you know, Tanner and Courtney, they're doing fine. Mm-hmm. Honestly, both of their kids are doing great. Like there was the youngest one that did test positive. He really didn't have like a lot of symptoms. Yeah. It was just kind of a fluke because Tanner went and picked him up from school yesterday, and he said that once he got him in the car, like he was like, okay, I feel better now.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was one of those. But yeah, so Tanner will be live with us with you all tomorrow from home, crafting from home. We're getting all of his stuff ready. Gonna drop it off. Either we're gonna drop it off or he's gonna come here like after hours. I can't remember. But he'll be crafting with you all tomorrow. There is a plate that he's gonna be making, and then gonna be showing you all some very beginner friendly crafts that you all can make. And then we will be back here live with you all on Thursday, and we are going to be doing a tie-dye sublimation t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Not where we tie-dye the t-shirt and then sublimate on it. We're actually going to be using sublimation ink to get the tie-dye effect. So gonna be super fun. Yeah. It was a really big TikTok trend, I think, like back in the middle to end of summer. So we're gonna be doing that, bringing that to you all. Other than that, it seems to, I think, everyone's just giving you all so much love, like like, I don't know how to, like, they're shocked that this is your second day. I mean, get it, girl. So if that is it, once again, so glad to be with you all crafting today. Can't wait to be back here again. We'll see you later. Bye guys.